Hey there, tech heads. Welcome back to TechPhD, where we talk about everything tech for everyone. And I know that I've been absent for a while. I'm really sorry for that, but I've been dealing with a lot of work and other things like that. But we're finally back on track. And in today's video, I'm going to be comparing every generation of Galaxy Buds that I was able to get my hands on. Let's get right into the video. In order to make this video as short and comprehensive as possible, I'll be comparing all the earbuds at the same time in different categories. Let's start off with the build quality. As you can see, each pair of earbuds has its own unique design, but we do notice some similarities between them. The Gear Icon X are the bulkiest, both in terms of the earbuds and the case. Fair warning, I'm referring to the Gear Icon X 2018 as the original Gear Icon X have been discontinued and are practically impossible to find. The case has two battery indicators on the front which look like headlights and a button in the middle which you need to press in order to open the lid. And this is because the lid is not magnetic, unlike the subsequent iterations of the Galaxy Buds. The buds themselves are also quite big and have an oval shape with the dedicated glossy touchpad on the body. The speaker and ear tip protrudes quite a bit from the body of the earbud, so it digs into your ears quite a bit, and I found that wearing these for a prolonged period of time was quite uncomfortable. However, they do have the wing tips which greatly improve the fit in your ears, thereby improving sound quality and preventing them from falling out. They are also rated IP67 as they were designed with working out in mind. The Galaxy Buds and Buds Plus, on the other hand, are pretty similar to the Gear Icon X. They retain the pill shape but are much smaller and more compact in comparison. They've also got a single LED indicator light in front as opposed to the double as seen on the Icon X, and they also lack the lid release button since these have magnetic lids. As for the buds themselves, the Galaxy Buds and Buds Plus are identical, so the build is the same. They're very similar to the Gear Icon X here as well, as they share the same overall design language. They're quite smaller than the Icon X, and the speakers and ear tips don't protrude as much, making these much more comfortable for longer term use. They were also designed with just casual use in mind, so they only have an IPX2 rating, which is fine for working out or some light rain, but you do not want to submerge these. The Galaxy Buds Live and Galaxy Buds Pro ditched the pill shape for a more squarish design, with the case of the Buds Live being glossy and the case of the Buds Pro being matte. They also retain the indicator lights on the front. When it comes to the Buds Live, I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with the design. It is a departure from Samsung's established Galaxy Buds aesthetic. While these bean-shaped buds are quite unique and admittedly very comfortable, my biggest problem lies with the lack of ear tips or a proper seal. And speaking of seal, the Buds Live aren't sealed against water as they also only have an IPX2 rating. The Galaxy Buds Live are unarguably the most comfortable Galaxy Buds to date, and they insert into your ears in a way that they sit flush enough for you to actually lay in bed with them still in your ears. The lack of silicone tips also has its advantages as it negates the congested feeling that you tend to get from in-ear earbuds. However, this is a double-edged sword, as the lack of silicone tips also means that every single external sound gets into your ears even while you're listening to music or on a call. This is my biggest problem, as I tend to listen to my music or podcast during my commute, and the surrounding sounds are so loud that I can barely hear what I'm listening to. The Buds Pro addressed this issue as Samsung redesigned their earbuds once again, this time bringing back the much missed silicone tips. The wing tips were still excluded, however. This design pushes the speakers and ear tips away from the body of the earbud, similar to the Gear Icon X, but these are still quite more comfortable than the Icon X. Another advantage they do have is their IPX7 rating, which makes them just as water resistant as your phone, which is pretty awesome to see. They have a somewhat oval shape, and unlike the Galaxy Buds or Buds Plus, they do not have a dedicated glossy touch zone, but rather the entire exterior of the buds are glossy, so you don't really know where exactly the touch controls are located. And speaking of touch controls, they haven't really changed much since the Gear Icon X. You have a single tap to pause or play your music, a double tap to forward to the next track, and a triple tap to go to the previous track. Touching and holding the touchpad is where we begin to see a difference in the different generations of Galaxy Buds, as they have different commands assigned to this action. And before we dive right into the touch commands, if you've been enjoying the video this far, then a subscription would mean the world to me, as this video has been a hellish experience to put together, and a subscription would really boost my morale. Now, let's get right back into it. On the Gear Icon X, the Galaxy Buds and the Galaxy Buds Plus, touching and holding the touchpad serves to either summon your voice assistant, increase or decrease volume, or turn on or off ambient mode. However, On the Galaxy Buds Live and Buds Pro, we get a new option with the introduction of ANC, or active noise cancellation. So touching and holding on the touchpad serves to either summon the voice assistant or switch between ambient mode or active noise cancellation. The touch controls on the Buds Live are quite finicky, however, as the unique shape of the buds make it really easy for you to accidentally trigger a touch command while trying to adjust the earbud. A new feature introduced on the Galaxy Buds Plus and featured in every iteration afterwards is the ability to increase or decrease your volume by double tapping on the outer edge of your earbuds, or better still, tapping on the edge of your ear. The right earbud serves to increase the volume and the left earbud serves to decrease it. Now, all this talk of switching between modes and adjusting volume sounds exciting, right? But is there really a point if the battery life doesn't hold up? Well, with the Gear Icon X, you get up to 7 hours of standalone music playback, and I say standalone because you can actually store music locally on your earbuds. You get up to 3.4 gigabytes, which serves to carry up to 1,000 songs, and this is a feature which hasn't been seen in any Galaxy Buds ever since. You get about 5 hours while Bluetooth streaming music from your phone or watch, and you get an additional 5 hours in the case, which isn't fantastic to be honest, especially considering the size of the case. Also, 10 minutes of charging in the case can give you an hour of listening time. The case also charges via USB-C, but sadly there is no wireless charging here. As for the Galaxy Buds, you get about 5 hours of Bluetooth streaming and an additional 6 hours with the charging case, which also charges via USB-C and even wirelessly. So if you've got a wireless charger at home, or your buds run out of juice while you're out and you've got one of the more recent Samsung flagships, you can charge the case using the reverse wireless charging on your phone. With the Galaxy Buds Plus, you get about 11 hours of Bluetooth playback and a whopping additional 11 hours in the charging case as well. This type of battery performance has yet to be surpassed by any other generation of Galaxy Buds. As for the Galaxy Buds Live, with active noise cancellation and Bixby Wake Up turned on, you get 5.5 hours with 20 hours in the case. With ANC turned on and Bixby Wake Up turned off, you get 6 hours and 21 hours with the case, and with both of them turned off, you get about 8 hours of playtime with 29 hours in the case. But honestly, the active noise cancellation practically does nothing with louder frequencies, so you're better off just leaving it turned off and enjoying the extra battery life. Also, with 5 minutes of charging in the case, you get about an hour of playback. And finally, as for the Galaxy Buds Pro, you get about 4.5 hours to 5 hours with ANC and Bixby Wake Up turned on, and about 18 hours more with the charging case. And you get about 7 to 8 hours with ANC and Bixby Wake Up turned off, and about 28 hours with the charging case. So now that we know how long we can listen to music with these earbuds, just how good is their sound quality anyway? Well, the Gear Icon X and Galaxy Buds are pretty similar in sound quality, with the Icon X being a bit more bass heavy as expected from workout earbuds, and the Galaxy Buds being a bit more balanced. However, a lot of people initially complained of the Galaxy Buds sounding quite tinny and quite bad out of the box, but the sound quality significantly improved after changing the equalizer to the dynamic setting in the Galaxy Wearables app. The Galaxy Buds Plus came with a new speaker configuration, which significantly improved the sound quality right from the box, as audio from the Buds Plus sounded clearer, louder, and more vibrant than audio on the Galaxy Buds and the Gear Icon X. The Galaxy Buds Live possess a similar sound quality to the Buds Plus and even the Buds Pro to some extent, with some more fine-tuning here and there. But you'll hardly be able to enjoy whatever you're listening to if the environment isn't quiet thanks to that awful seal. You will find yourself longing for more volume as the audio quality really is good, but you aren't able to enjoy it. The Buds Pro are the undisputed champions when it comes to sound quality and even beat out the AirPods Pro in my opinion, as audio from the Buds Pro is very rich, vibrant, and detailed. Listening to music on the Buds Pro makes you want to sing along or even dance or even cry, depending on what you're listening to. Now, one complaint users have had with Galaxy Buds has been the microphone. And especially with the Gear Icon X and Galaxy Buds, the microphone performance has been pretty subpar. But with the Galaxy Buds Plus and above, you expect better microphone performance because they rearranged the hardware a bit and added additional microphones. So the sound quality from the microphones on the Buds Plus, the Buds Live, and even the Buds Pro are significantly better than those on the Gear Icon X and the Galaxy Buds. But I can't say that they are better than those on the AirPods, however. So overall, the microphone quality from the more recent Galaxy Buds are good, people can hear you quite well, but I wouldn't say they're best in class. Now, one major aspect of owning a pair of Galaxy Buds is the Galaxy Wearables app. This is where you can find all the settings pertaining to your Galaxy Buds. The Gear Icon X and Galaxy Buds don't really have a lot going on in the app, as you can basically just change the EQ settings, touch controls, and toggle ambient mode on or off. Things get interesting with Buds Plus as you're able to configure your volume controls to just tapping the outside of the buds like I mentioned earlier, or you can also find your buds through the app by playing a chirping sound through the earbuds themselves. Something interesting though is the fact that it's only the Buds Plus which have a companion app for iOS devices, as it seems Samsung was trying to widen their consumer base to include iPhone users at that time, but they never made any more iOS compatible companion apps after that. The Buds Live introduced the active noise cancellation feature. Aside from that, you've also got some experimental features in the lab section, such as a gaming mode to reduce the latency while playing games, and an option to relieve pressure with ambient sound, which cranks up the ambient sound volume to the max in order to let the surrounding sounds into your ears. You can also play around with the EQ settings and the touch controls. The Buds Pro have practically the same options in the Wearables app as the Buds Live, except the active noise cancellation in the Buds Pro actually does offer a decent amount of noise cancellation. You've also got another option called 360-degree audio, which uses Dolby Audio to identify the position of your head and direct audio to whatever position you are facing. So for example, if you're turning to the left, then you will hear more sounds coming from the left, and if you turn to the right, you will hear more sounds coming from the right. Now this feature debuted with the Galaxy Buds Pro and the S21 series, but it is also compatible with devices running One UI 3.1. However, you can only utilize this with compatible content like that found on Netflix or on some other streaming platforms. Now, one hidden feature which I did find with the Galaxy Buds Pro is something which I like to call smart ambient sound. If you've got ambient sound mode turned on and there is suddenly a very loud noise, then the Buds Pro will automatically reduce the volume of the ambient sound mode in order to protect your ears. You can try it out at home. If you've got a pair of Galaxy Buds Pro, put them in your ears and turn on ambient sound mode, and then snap your fingers right beside your ears, or get someone to clap or something like that. You will realize that the ambient sound mode gets reduced quite a bit in order to save your ears from getting the full sharpness or the full intensity of that noise. I think this is a really good idea, and it's really awesome for people who like to use their earbuds in ambient sound mode in case someone wants to talk to them, for example. Another feature the Buds Pro have is the voice detect feature, where if the buds sense that you are talking to another person, they will pause your music and switch to ambient sound mode in order for you to be able to have a conversation without taking out your earbuds. If they detect that you are speaking for more than 10 seconds, then they will automatically pause your music and kick into voice detect mode. You also get an improvement to the Find My Earbuds feature with the Buds Live and the Buds Pro, where you can search for your earbuds using Samsung SmartThings, which show you a map and your earbuds location on that map. But as you can see here, it's still a little bit finicky and you can't really search for them if you're in the same building as your buds. So at the end of the day, I believe Samsung have taken quite a number of steps forward and even a few steps back when it comes to their wireless earbuds. But I don't think there is a single generation of Samsung Galaxy Buds still in production that I would consider inherently bad. If you've got the money, the Buds Pro are hands down some of the best wireless earbuds you can get for your Android device. Personally, I'd stay away from the Buds Live as I feel that the lack of a proper seal takes away so much from the user experience. However, if you're an Android user who hates silicone tips, then you can definitely give them a try. If you're in a tighter budget, then the Buds Plus are your go-to. Amazing battery life, a comfortable form factor, and great sound quality, all for a decent price. I wouldn't recommend getting the Galaxy Buds or Gear Icon X if you've got the opportunity to get the Buds Plus, as that extra battery life and new speaker configuration adds a lot to the user experience. But with all that said, let me know what you thought about this video in the comment section right below the like button. I put in a lot of work into this video, re-recording A-roll and so on and so forth, and I would really appreciate if you could subscribe and turn on the post notifications, as that would be a huge support to me personally. And with that said, you stay cool, stay safe, wear a mask if you're not vaccinated, and I'll catch you in the next TechPhD production. Peace.